Hi guys, today I want to talk about another interesting ancient stone tomb in China called Beidongshan. It's the burial place of a king from over 2100 years ago. It has two levels which were constructed in dramatically different styles. Surprisingly, I found this tomb shares four amazing characteristics with the ancient temple of Osirian in Egypt.
Beidongshan is located in Quzhou, China. This city contains at least 8 ancient king tombs from the Han Dynasty. It's overflowing with rich cultural heritage. I discussed in my last video the stone tomb in Guishan, which is in the same city. The Han Dynasty ruled for 4 centuries from 206 BC to 220 AD. Beidongshan was looted several times, yet some stunning artifacts survived, including jade plaques from the king's suit. A jade suit was a part of the Han royal burial custom. The coins found in the tomb were dated between 175 to 128 BC. Similar to this type of stone tomb, Beidongshan Cave was also carved into a granite hill. The cave shows advanced masonry work with unbelievable precision. It's considered the most complex of all the king's tombs from Han Dynasty. The unique thing about Beidongshan is it has 2 structures, the main level and the lower level, also known as the auxiliary complex. The two were built with strikingly different methods. The main level contains the king's coffin and was carved into the granite hill in a semi-symmetrical layout. In this old photo taken before the tomb's excavation, we can see the entrance look different from today. This photo makes me question if the front sections of the tomb, including the entry to the lower level, were reconstructed. Therefore, I will only focus on the chambers that are located behind the main entrance, because they remain minimally restored and better represent the original stone cave. Please ignore the cement ceiling as pointed out in this photo, because it was added recently. The main level has several chambers with gable ceilings which were created with amazing accuracy. The stone finish is so smooth, it looks polished. Some repair work had been done, though we can still see the chambers were carved entirely in stone. The chambers were painted with cinnabar, a red-colored substance, which traces remain. Please pay close attention to the conjunction lines, which were perfectly executed and are remarkably sharp. These cave chambers were made from granite, a very hard stone with a hardness equal to steel. Today we use powerful diamond drills or water jets to work on granite slabs. How would drills or water jets create stone gable ceilings? Do we even have the tools today to duplicate such chambers with the same precision?
If today we would have so much trouble to reproduce these kind of caves, then how could ancient people from 2100 years ago with hand tools create this incredible laborsome stonework? A perplexing question indeed.
The lower level is located outside the tomb gate and accessible through a staircase. The Chinese archaeologists claim that this level was intended as the king's entertainment and supply center in his afterlife. This level was constructed with stone blocks instead of carving into the hill. The blocks are of different sizes and were assembled with mortar. Some in-between walls were made with larger stone blocks, and some animals were carved from stone. The lower level looks crude and primitive, which is in contrast with the clean-cut, laser-accurate main level. If the king's masons were the original builders, why didn't they build both levels the same way? Why would the king ever agree to such contrasting styles?
I believe this means the two structures were built by different workers from different eras.
I hypothesize the following scenario. Over 2100 years ago, the king's men discovered a stone cave on the main level and maybe ruins on the lower level. The site was likely considered sacred and became the king's tomb. The king's masons reused the collapsed stone blocks on site and rebuilt with what was left there as best as they could in a similar architectural fashion. Some may think it could be the other way around. The lower level was built before the main level since it shows inferior construction. The main cave is visibly better than the lower level, so it was created later with improved techniques. Well, I disagree. I think the main level was constructed first, because if the king's masons had the ability to carve smooth caves, they would have used the same technology to carve the lower level. They would not reuse or recycle an old crude structure. That would be like building a new mansion while letting the old attached garage remain as is. That makes no sense. Furthermore, the masonry difference between the main level and the lower level is quite substantial. Are we to believe that within the king's lifetime, the technology developed so much that it can go from the crude construction to the advanced caves? For comparative purposes, it took us about 2,000 years to make such a big technological leap, from stacked stone blocks to precisely carved stone chambers.
Let's go back to the main level since this is where I found similar characteristics with Osirion, the ancient Egyptian temple.
1. Similar usage of stone joints. At Beidongshan, we see obvious joints between the two stacked stone blocks in the hallway. These 8-ton blocks were used to block the entrance. The fit between blocks is very precise, with sharp right angles which require advanced masonry. Here are the joints at Osirion. Osirion was built at a lower level than the foundation of the Temple of Seti, who ruled 31,000 years ago. Look at these side-by-side comparison photos. The Osirion stone blocks are much larger, but the joints look identical. The fit of the joints at both sides are precise with minimal gaps. These are typical juggle joints which creates a stable interlocking result. From the photos, we can see the Osirion joints look like the mortise and tenon type, while Beidongshan's used a ton and groove joint. Nowadays, we mainly use such joints for wood and rarely on stone. As we can see, this joint is not easy to make with hard material. A long, narrow trench needs to be dug on one block and a straight, narrow protrusion on the other. The two need to be a good match to make the locking work. Yet how did workers from 2100 years ago manage to do this amazing task? The ancient Chinese were not experts on stone construction like the Egyptians, Greeks, or Romans. This is evident by the fact that the few remaining ancient Chinese stone structures are not nearly as old or as impressive. However, the stone joints at Beidongshan strongly suggest otherwise. Were the Han Masons the real creators of the stone cave, or did they inherit it? 2. Similar gable ceilings. Sophisticated stone gable ceilings are a rarity among ancient sites. I found a few in China and Egypt. The ones in China belong to a group of special cave tombs, like Beidongshan and Guishan. The ones in Egypt concentrate in pyramid chambers. Osirion is the one with close resemblance, but not in a pyramid. The stone cave ceilings at Beidongshan were carved directly from stone, though Osirion's ceilings were made of tightly fit stone blocks and bigger in scale. 2 of the Great Pyramids of Giza have chambers with gable ceilings made of stone blocks, such as the Queen's Chambers in the Pyramids of Khafra. In Saqqara, another 2 smooth pyramids, the Pyramid of Teti and the Pyramid of Unas, from the Old Kingdom, also have gable ceilings. These 2 have the famous pyramid texts carved onto the walls underneath the ceilings. Look at these sites side by side. The ceilings look almost identical. This type of sophisticated stone gable ceiling was uncommon in ancient time. Here are some other structures with triangular ceilings, though they don't have the same slope or the same method of construction. Please leave a comment if you know any other ancient sites that have stone gable ceilings. 3. Cyclopean walls with custom-shaped stone blocks. Some walls of the main level at Baidongshan consist of stone blocks in different shapes with very tight fittings. Such baffling stone walls were built with blocks that look custom-made or molded, with every block fitting in perfectly. We have seen similar Cyclopean walls all over the world, including Peru, Egypt, Greece, Italy, and Japan. This is the first Chinese site I found with such a stone formation. Unfortunately, there are not many photos of Beidongshan for us to do more research on. At least we can see the tight fittings, the special L-shaped joint detail, which means a slight undercut on one block. We can also see the blocks in unusual shapes, which are also the characteristics of Cyclopean walls. Osirion's giant stone blocks also have the L-shaped seams between blocks. It's very possible that the stone blocks at both sites were made to interlock with masonry joints, like the structures in Peru and other areas. They were designed so well that they survived earthquakes and other natural disasters over thousands of years. 4. The large region groove tool marks again. I've been discussing these distinct tool marks in my previous videos. It's just mind-boggling to see them show up on so many sites. The majority of the walls and ceilings in Beidongshan's main level are smooth, yet some ceilings show the same uniformed, parallel tool mark that resemble the marks we see at Baalbek, Petra, Yangshan Monument, and many other ancient sites. Most importantly, they all share similar characteristics to modern-day machine marks. It seems that the chambers in Beidongshan were excavated first with machinery with teeth, which left the ridge and groove marks. Then a fine finishing machine was used to create the smooth finish. How about the Osirion? From afar, the Osirion blocks look smooth, but with some close-up shots, we can see the same tool marks on certain blocks. Does that mean the stone blocks in Osirion were also excavated through roughing machinery before getting a smooth finish? Since Beidongshan and Osirion show unfinished stones, it's possible that both were incomplete projects. The stone cave at Beidongshan shows highly advanced masonry that easily rivals today's technology. People from 2100 years ago, using only hand tools, cannot do that. So was the cave built by a prehistory advanced civilization?
I know that Beidongshan and Osirion are probably not related in any way at all. However, the similar construction characteristics may be the evidence of an unknown advanced global civilization with highly sophisticated technology. Some people may think this is far-fetched pseudo-archaeology, but let's do some math.
Our current known history traces back about 6,000 years, which is a mere fraction of human history. Most scientists think that people who look like us, anatomically modern Homo sapiens, evolved by at least 130,000 years ago. Their brain had reached today's size. So anatomically, they were the same as us and potentially as smart as us. So 130,000 years of modern human history minus the 6,000 years of a currently known history means there is a 124,000 year span of unknown time. The 10,000-year-old Göbekli Tepe already proves that there were civilizations that existed beyond our understanding. Our 6,000 years is only about 5% of modern human history. What did our ancestors achieve with their 95%?
Is it really unthinkable that there were advanced civilizations before ours? Okay, let's wrap it up here. If you have any insights, please leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I have a wide range of topics that I want to share with you. This is Curious Being. I'm Tina. Thanks for watching and see you next time.